Today's guest is a familiar face around here. We're sitting down with Isabella Severson, who spent 2 years as part of the Moxie team before leaving earlier this year to chase a new adventure. Literally. After packing her bags to travel throughout Europe, Isabella has continued building a career that combines two of her biggest passions, social media and travel. But what makes Isabella's story so interesting is that marketing wasn't always the plan. She actually went to school to become an esthetician before realizing it wasn't the career she wanted. A part-time opportunity at Moxie turned into a full-time career, and now she's carving out a path that's entirely her own. Today, we're talking about career pivots, taking risks, building a career around your passions, and why founder-led content has become one of the most powerful forms of marketing today. Welcome to Behind the Brand, the podcast for small business owners, solopreneurs, and aspiring entrepreneurs who are ready to start strong, stand out, and stay bold. Each week, we'll take you behind the scenes to explore what it takes to build a memorable brand and grow a successful business. Are you ready to get behind the brand? Let's dive in. Hello, Moxieverse. Welcome back to another episode of Behind the Brand. Taylor here, and as always, joined by the fabulous Ms. Kelly Kane.
Hello.
And we have a very familiar voice and face on the pod today. Hello, Isabella.
Hello, I'm so glad to be back.
How long has it been since you've podcasted? Like 8 months?
Yeah, like 7 months maybe. Yeah.
Long time.
Crazy.
January, probably.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, we are really excited to have you sitting with us to just catch up, chit chat. You are not back working under our roof, but like you said, you cannot escape us. I think we've seen you.
We're like, what are you doing? What are you doing now?
I'll be there.
Yeah.
What are you doing tomorrow?
You want to come take pictures? You want to come to our party? You want to come have lunch with us?
And the answer is absolutely. I'm there.
Yeah, some Moxies are just Moxies forever.
Mm-hmm. I'm still in the group chat, guys.
Yeah,
so.
you are still in
Some
the group.
Moxies, aren't we all?
Yeah, I guess you're the only Moxie that's ever left, but whatever. We wanted to have you.
Yeah, let's talk about what she's been doing.
Have you on today to, just catch the Moxieverse up on what you have been up to. You obviously were a part of our team since we opened our doors as Moxie, and a lot of people have gotten to know you over that course of that time. And when you left and we were telling people what you were doing and all that, everybody was so excited for you. And so I thought, well, you're back and kind of getting into the swing of life now, so it would be a great time to bring you on and just talk all about your travels and your journey and all of those things.
I'm so excited. I know it was incredible how many people were just so supportive of everything that I was doing, and then now get to come back and see some familiar faces again and catch everyone up, and I'm just really excited.
Okay, so let's start out with, where did you go? What did you do? Why are you no longer here?
And why are you back? And what's going on? And are you dating anyone?
I'm not dating anyone. I'm still single,
Any dating
guys.
shows lately?
Did you find a handsome Portuguese gentleman?
I did have some fun little romances for sure.
Oh, yes. You did not tell us that.
Did I not?
No. I was only worried about the
Okay, let's go
stalking.
right into the dating, I guess, you guys. So I spent my first month in Lisbon. I wanted to be able to kind of like get my grounds somewhere, be able to meet people, and just kind of get really familiar with one city. Some people do traveling. I was like 3 days here and 3 days there, and I was like, I just don't think that that's for me. I like the whole slow thing. So I stayed in a hostel my first weekend, and I was like, you know what? I should go on a date. I should go on a date, whatever. So I get Hinge. Guys, because I don't date.
So you went over and got sleazy, or?
No, definitely not. I was very classy. I was very, very classy, you guys.
Oh, okay. I was just
very, very
wonder if
classy.
like one in Europe.
If I was maybe 20 and I did this, things would be, but I
Maybe 20. How old are you?
Right.
But I'm
A lot
23 now,
changes.
and I'm so over that.
a lot changes in 2 years, you guys. No, but I went on a date.
I was in my slutty era way longer.
I don't know what happened. I just was like, I'm old. Like, I don't want to do this.
But you've always been very mature for your age. Okay,
Thank
continue.
you. I went on a date with a guy who was Portuguese. He had incredible English. A lot of people there just knew English.
Did he have
really well.
such an awesome accent?
He did. Because here's the thing. When they get really good at English, a lot of their English sometimes is like British English. And so they have like a little bit of a British accent even, because some of the words that they pick up on. It's like this Portuguese, but like British accent. It was great. Anyways, it was really fun. We stayed out till like 4 a.m. He just showed me around. We were walking. We went to these things called like a miradoro, which is like a lookout.
Okay.
And
A makeout
a
place?
lookout.
Oh.
A lookout for him to shove you over?
A lookout for him
Are you worried that
to
it's-
shove me
the
over
whole
and I
time,
escaped?
we got to tell everyone the whole time Isabella was gone, we're like, she's getting killed. She's getting killed in Europe.
There were some close,
people are
close
stalking her.
experiences.
She's too beautiful, too young. She doesn't know what she's doing.
There were some
and so
close
we always were
experiences.
like, keeping tabs on her. We
Yeah.
put an air tag in her bag.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was really fun. And here's the thing
then
though
what
about
happened?
Portuguese guys, I'll tell you. So he was like, I need to see you again. When you
I
go to
love
other
you.
countries, I need you to tell me so I can come see you. And I was like, whoa, this is pretty. I mean, like, this guy was gorgeous, but I was like, this is like, that's kind
On
of
your
crazy.
first date?
Yeah, like, I'm like, I've known you for like 6 hours now. And so, like, anyways, it's late and it's like, okay, time for me to leave. I obviously tell him I'm staying at a hostel, even though I'm staying at a hotel, because I'm like, you're not coming home with me. That's not happening. And so, which also, guys, there's this thing about how I guess they think American girls like give it away too
Sure,
early,
sure.
whatever. That's like a whole thing. Anyways,
Well, they're not wrong. Go ahead.
anyways, so he's like, I need to see you again. Like, let me take you out again next weekend. I'm like, okay, sure. Like, I don't know anyone in the city really, so you know,
I've
whatever.
got
I'm
nothing
down.
going on. Let's
Exactly.
do it.
I'm free. I don't have a job, whatever. So before the date, we had followed each other on Instagram. And the next day or 2 days later, I meet with this girl. She's like, oh my gosh, how was your date? And I was like, it was good. And she was like, let me see him. And she's like, oh my gosh, we matched too. And she's like, what did he send you? And he had sent her the exact same message. And we're laughing about it now. And I'm like, you should go on this date, whatever. She was leaving, so she couldn't. And then for some reason, I went to go look at his Instagram. And he had removed me as a follower and unfollowed me. I was like, okay, hold on. Here's
What?
the thing. That is insulting. Not because I needed to go out with you again, but because did you think I was going to be harassing you? Why aren't you texting me back? I'm like, that is ridiculous.
Maybe he did just want to, hook up.
Yeah. And well, I'm sorry.
Well, did she go out with him too?
No, she didn't. But then another girl came to Lisbon and she was American as well. Oh, because here's the kicker. We were going out together. He was like, I've never connected with an American girl before. Like,
Oh,
or
what a
American
liar.
Yeah, okay. Every single American girl I met with after also matched with him. I was like, I find this hard to believe. Rodrigo.
So there's sleaze bags
name?
overseas while
his
as at
name?
home.
Rodrigo. Rodrigo.
we're
but
calling
you
him
say
out on this
Rodrigo.
podcast.
His name is dropped.
Behind
He
the
is Rodrigo.
brand, how did he
That
go?
was, yeah. He's the next guest. Okay.
No, we're calling
Anyways,
him out.
yeah, everything was short-lived,
from
just
there-
like fun and yeah, I
Little
met
couple fling,
Yeah, I
yeah.
just met like some people like that. I mean, and everyone else after that was people that I kept in touch with, like follow each other on Instagram. So some I still
Is
talk
that
to
your
a little
commitment
bit.
level? Follow on Instagram?
Yeah, like
Pretty
very
much?
low commitment. I'm just
Yeah.
like, okay. We can like each other's Instagram posts and say something every once in a while, but yeah.
Okay, that's how you get to know people.
Yeah, I mean,
Cool.
maybe not the best thing.
So you
but
did not fall in love.
I did not fall in love. No, I
Okay.
think some people expect that, but like friendship-wise,
I expected it.
I-
Hey, you made a lot of friends.
yeah, the friends, like the female friendships, were like the most incredible thing that I got to experience.
Other
One of them-
Americans or other countries as
The
well?
girls I got, 3 of the girls I got the closest with were Americans. One of them was also from New Zealand, and then one was from the UK, but she's actually from South Africa. So,
Okay,
yeah.
let's back up a minute. Why were you in Portugal?
I was trying to decide where I wanted to go when I was going to do this trip. And so first I was like, I'm going to do work exchange. And I'd heard so many good things about
Okay,
Lisbon.
back up one more time. Why
Yeah.
did you want to go on
Why
a trip?
did you wanna go on
Why
a
did
trip?
you
Why
leave
did I want
us?
to go on the trip? Oh, right.
Yes.
Okay. Why did I leave? I sat down with Kelly, like right when I went
she's
full time
calling
with
me out.
Moxie, and I was like, no, I'm not calling you out. I was like, my goal is to travel. Like that is just a goal of mine. And so there wasn't like a big reason behind it. It was just like something that I knew I wanted to do.
And this
Felt
job
like-
didn't let you do that, really. I mean, it just doesn't. I mean,
it's just
you have
it's
to be here
hard,
with
yeah,
clients.
because and also because like I care so much. Like when I was here, obviously I cared so much about the work that I was doing. Like if I would have like been able to convince you, okay, let me go travel, I'm doing this work. It's either that I would have barely done much and I would have just been focusing on my work, or that then all of a sudden my work would have slacked and I would have been enjoying.
Yeah, you wanted to be all in.
Yeah, and now I'm getting in a routine where I can figure out like how to have both, but ultimately, yeah, just
So
traveling.
you
was-
wanted to travel and
yeah,
just have
and just enjoy
travel.
an experience and like, yeah, I just felt like that would become something that felt like it would be an experience that would change me, and it definitely did in like
Yeah.
a certain way.
And it was a solo trip. Let's
Yeah.
add that.
Yeah.
Solo.
That's another reason we were
And
worried.
but it also wasn't just like I'm gonna go to like London for a week,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like you were like, no, I'm leaving for 4 months. Do you think that a little teeny part of that was like, if anybody knows your backstory, right? Like you didn't go to traditional college. You went
Mm-hmm.
to school to be an esthetician, decided, okay, that's not for me, kind of got into sales and marketing a little bit, and then to pave your way to
Yeah.
come join us when we opened the doors here. And so you didn't get that like traditional, like, 18 to 21
Yeah,
year
I
old
didn't.
college experience. So do you feel a little bit like this was me spreading my wings? You
Right,
never got to study
exactly.
abroad, where like if
I
you
nev-
would have gone to
yep.
a traditional 4-year school, that
she
might have been
wanted
something
to
you would have
get
done.
out of St. Cloud.
I never
a
got to
little bit.
study abroad. I felt like, like what's next, and yeah, I never had like this period of just kind of like, I remember when I decided to not go to college, right? And then I was all of a sudden working like a big girl job at
Yeah.
19. I was like kind of grieving the fact that I never had just time to just kind of figure out what I wanted to do. And I was figuring out what I wanted to do through that, but I just didn't have,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it was like people were partying and they were doing
You
all
felt
these
like
things.
you're maybe missing out on that experience.
And I was just working, yeah. And I enjoyed that, and I'm so glad that I did it. But I was like, I feel like I just need time to like who am I if I just remove everything? I'm just like traveling.
Ooh. All right. So
At first, my first month, I remember I was meeting so many people, and so I was always like distracted. And then I went to Porto, Portugal, which is 4 hours from Lisbon, and I stayed there for 4 or 5 days. And I remember at this point, 3 days was the longest at time that I had spent alone, right? So I'm solo traveling, but it's like not so solo. I felt like I was gonna go insane. Like I remember thinking something was so wrong with me. Like I was like, I am just this shell of a person when I'm alone. Like I don't want to go out and explore. I don't want to do anything. I just don't know what to do. I feel like I need to go meet people in order to go do adventurous things and whatnot. And I kind of started to realize that like, then I literally, like when I got back to Lisbon and I was very happy there, I went and like hung out with people again. And I started to write out things in my notebook of like, I wanted to find like a reoccurring theme of how this could connect to like when I'm alone feeling, because I knew I was an independent person. And so I was like, why do I feel this feeling of like I'm just this, like I have so many things wrong with me when I'm alone, right? Because I know that there's not, I mean,
you're
everyone
alone
has
with your
things
own,
wrong,
you're
right?
alone with
Yeah.
your own thoughts, and
yeah.
you're not busy.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
how I think a lot of people feel when
Exactly.
they're not busy.
And so I started to realize that all of the things that I had pretty much had ever done in my life was for like external validation in a sense, like external recognition was what would fuel me. So all of a sudden when there's no one to externally be like, you should do this, or to externally validate me in a sense, like I felt like, what do I do then? What do I do? I don't want to cook for myself because I'm not cooking for someone else. I don't want to go do this because there's no one to say good job, whatever, you know, there's no one to be like, oh, we have to do this next hill. We have to climb up this next hill. I just be like, I'm tired. I don't want to go do it. I don't want to climb up that hill. Once I was able to realize that, I was able to be like, okay, like let's start to do things for yourself. Let's go start cooking these meals that you don't feel like you want to cook because there's no one to cook for. Let's go out and explore these things by ourselves, because even if there's no one else to explore it with, let's go do something hard, because, you know, even if there's no one to cheer you on.
Go to a restaurant by yourself.
Yeah, let's not go and tell your friends about these things, experiences that you had. I feel like I was always going to tell my friends this happened and that happened, and all of a sudden for the first time in my life, I was doing big things and no one knew about it. And no one was there to see it. For the first time, it was like, I'm doing things for myself. And so then I remember, I think after 6 weeks, I remember then I was in Budapest. And I was alone for the first time again, for the first time in a few weeks. I went to go see my family in Italy. I spent then a few days with one of my friends that I met in Paris. And I was like, okay, I'm going to be alone again for the first time for days. And I don't know what that's going to feel like. I felt so good to be alone.
That time
it was
okay?
incredible. Like I just was finally like, I don't feel like there's so many things wrong with me. I feel like I know what I want to do. I can go and explore. I can go do all these things. And yeah, so I don't think I would have ever known what it felt like to just like have everything removed and whatnot had I not experienced that.
Right, because there's so much stimulation.
Yeah, there's
when you're
always
at
so much
home
going
or
on.
with people.
Yeah.
And
I
so,
think
yeah.
for a lot of people that would be hard. I think we think like, oh, some alone time would be nice. There's just time.
But not too much.
Yeah. And
right?
then when it, you know, it for everybody, it probably will hit a point of like, you know, you just kind of become your own worst enemy. You're the only
Yeah.
person you're having conversation with, whether you are talking to yourself out loud or you're, you know, internally in your head. And that's tough.
Yeah,
I went through a similar thing with my divorce. Like all of a sudden I was just
it's just you.
dropped by myself.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was hard. Weird.
It's really hard and really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That wasn't in Portugal or Budapest.
But it doesn't
that's
matter
okay.
where it is. I mean, I
Right.
think that maybe I fast-tracked that experience by just putting myself in that situation, right? I mean, I think that was
Right. You went
kind
over
of the
there for
point.
yourself,
Yeah.
not for other people. But
yeah.
yeah, you must have gained so much confidence doing that.
Totally. Oh my gosh. I mean, the amount of different experiences that I had that were definitely scary and sketchy. I mean, like getting followed by two random guys.
Okay,
and
don't
it's
tell me that. That
nighttime,
just, oh my God.
And I'm trying to get into my place, but I don't know what's going to happen. And so
You stayed in one Airbnb and all of a sudden it was like flooded.
Yeah.
And you
No
know,
one to
not to
call.
say like, yeah, but like you had to figure it
You have to
out,
figure it out by
right?
yourself.
Like, and
There was-
unfortunately, then you had to leave and you had to go stay at a hotel.
Yeah.
Like, but you learned some different life experiences, I think,
Yeah,
on this
mom
trip.
and dad aren't
yeah,
there. You
totally.
went to-
Oh my
yeah.
gosh. I remember when I first got to Lisbon, that it was 2 a.m. at home. It was 8 a.m. in Lisbon. And I was like, I don't know how to relax myself right now, because I've always been a very anxious person, but I've always been so good at anchoring myself. Suddenly, everything that could anchor me would make me more
You're in a
anxious, more
strange
sad,
place.
because I could think about my animals, but I'm just going to think about how much I miss them. I could think about my family, but I'm just thinking about how much I miss them. Think about my friends, I'm just thinking about how much I miss them. So I'm sitting there trying not to panic, trying not to throw up. I feel so sick. And I just was like, you really realize literally on my own. If something happens, I don't have anyone to call. People don't, like, English isn't their first language. And yeah, it was just
That's
like, I literally
scary
have no
in
one.
of
I have
itself.
no one. And that was crazy. I remember hearing people say it, but I just didn't understand it until I was there. And I
No.
was like, I literally have no one.
Yeah. Were there ever times where you were like, I just want to come home, or I'm just
No.
over this?
No, that was actually so, I remember
Maybe
like,
that first day. So
Yeah.
what did I do?
well, yeah, it's like I could feel so anxious and feel all those feelings, but I was still like never like, I need to be home. I really want to be home. And I remember when I was followed by those guys, and it was such a scary experience. And luckily I got out of it because I was smart about it. But then I got into my place and I broke down crying, let the lights off. Mind you, if you're getting followed and you go into your place, never turn the lights on, because then they'll know where you're staying. Like if you're
That is
but
scary.
I remember just crying, and I called my mom and bawling, and she's, do you want to come home? And I was like, no.
Well, moms have to ask that.
Of course.
Yeah.
But I was
I'm
just
coming
like,
to get you.
But I was happy, literally, like, oh my gosh. But I
And then
was
we're
so
doing a
happy to
weekend.
think that, like, even in a situation where I was like so scared and so alone that I didn't want to go home, I felt proud of that I figured it out on myself. And I was like, I'm so much more capable than I ever thought that I was.
That is scary. I would have been scared to ever leave again.
Well, that's why I left places. I was like, it's time. I'm not going to stay here again. I had booked it for the entire month, paid $1,500, did not get that money back, had to spend even more money on new places. But it was like, whatever, because my safety, and I don't want to.
Where were you
feel
that
so
they were
stressed.
following you?
It was
during
right on
the
the.
day?
It was
I just wanna know.
10:30
Did
at
you not-
night.
You didn't hear this conversation?
It was 10:30 at night.
It
It wasn't
told
even
me
that
enough
late.
just to scare me.
I got out of my Uber.
But was it dark?
It was dark, so it was, all the doors looked the same. And I was like, shoot. So I go on my phone to see where I'm staying, and all of a sudden I noticed this guy walk past me and then stop, because I was about to turn around. And I was like, I'm going to walk past him. I'm going to see if he continues to walk when I walk past him. He does. So I'm like, okay. I turn around, and I see this little gift shop that's still open. And so I go into the gift shop. The guy in there, I'm like saying, hey, I'm sorry, I'm getting followed, I think, so I'm going to stay in here. He's just like, yeah. He doesn't know what I'm saying. And so I'm like, I look out. The guy is just standing across the street staring at me. And I can just see a silhouette. I'm like, this is out of a horror movie. And so I'm like, okay, you know what? Maybe he's just going to leave. He's just looking for an easy target. So I wait a bit, then I look outside. He's right outside.
Oh my
right
God.
outside, waiting for me. So I'm like, okay, this is where we have to decide what we're going to do right now. We have to decide. I see a couple across the street. They're going into a different gift shop. Luckily, these gift shops are open. I think they close at 11, so I was pretty lucky for the timing. I go over to them. They don't speak English. Like, literally everyone I met would pretty much speak English, so it was crazy that this was the one experience where no one around spoke English. And so I go inside there. I say to the lady, like, do you know English? She's like, I don't know what you're saying. And I'm like, are there guys out there? I look over, now there's 2 guys outside waiting. And then the husband can tell that something's wrong, so he comes over with a translating app. I explain what's going on.
Oh, how sweet.
I know. Like, thank God. And he's like, we'll walk you to your place. Is that what you want? And I'm like, yes, please. Thank you.
I'm so glad that you reached
Yeah,
out to
we
somebody.
go out. They follow all of us. But luckily, like, I put in my PIN. I book it inside. I'm like, thank you. And go hide by my door so they don't see what door I'm going into, because there was luckily this little like ledge, and it was only 6 steps up off the floor. So I had experiences like that where it was like, I just had to realize that I had to come up with what was gonna
I'm glad
what I
you
was gonna
asked for
do.
help, though.
And I'm someone who is always like, mom or dad is gonna fix it. Like anytime something's happening, I can just call mom or dad and they're gonna come and they're gonna fix it.
Because you're so young. That's
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
too, yeah.
So for the first time, it was like I was just on my own. I'm really glad that I had those experiences, and I think that they happened early on because it was like, okay,
Okay,
you
now
need to be aware.
did Eva freak out?
Yes, but I think she handled it better than I expected.
She knew you could handle it.
I think, yeah, some parents maybe like, no,
I'd
you
be
need to
like,
come
I'm on a
home.
plane.
You need to
Right.
come
Here I
home. Yeah,
come.
exactly. And of course, so she would freak out, but she had to let me,
Yeah, side
figure it
note,
out.
Do my
your
own
mom
thing.
is from Italy, so she fully encouraged
yeah,
you to do this.
exactly.
Yeah.
She was very encouraging of it. Of course, she
Yeah,
didn't
you're an Italian
fully
citizen.
want it. Yes, that was the other nice thing, is that I was able to be there with an Italian citizenship. And I guess you could say I wasn't completely alone. I had family in Italy, but that's like saying, oh, I have family in like California, so it's all good. They'll come help me. So yeah.
Funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so we know.
Okay, I'm sorry I went on that
Portugal-
tangent, but
That's
I needed to
okay.
catch
You
up.
need to know.
This out.
So you obviously spent a lot of time in Portugal. You said you went to Budapest. Where else did you go?
So I went to, after Lisbon, I went to London, and I saw my friend that I met in Lisbon and stayed with her for a few days. And then I went to, actually first I went to Edinburgh. I went to Edinburgh because Maya, Kelly's daughter, had convinced me to go. And so I was like, okay, I have to go. It was really cool, but I was really sick at the time, so that was unfortunate. Then I went to London, and then I went to a city called Bristol, and then Bath, because Bath is where like
Downton.
Downton Abbey, yeah, Bridgerton, some
English countryside.
Jane Austen films,
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was super, super cool. Then went back to London, and then I took the Eurostar to Paris. That was so cool.
I
My
love
mom was
Paris.
supposed to meet me there, but unfortunately, her flight, there was snow and flight was canceled. And then I was like crying in the streets of Paris. I'm like, I'm crying. This is so cinematic for me to be crying in the streets of Paris. Like, whatever. Ended up meeting a friend that I wouldn't have met had my mom been able to make it. So that was really cool. Did all my Paris stuff with her. So grateful that I met her.
Cool.
Yeah, and then I flew to Rome from there, and then that girl actually ended up coming to Rome, so I was able to meet up with her in Rome. And yeah, I spent 3 weeks in Italy. We were in Rome, so that's where I have family, and then we went down to Naples, and then we went to Capri, which is an island off of Naples, back to Naples and to Rome again, and then I flew back to London to go see my friend again, and then I went to Budapest, met up with a friend that I met in Paris again. So like,
Oh
luckily
my
I just
gosh,
yeah, I
yeah.
had these experiences with people that I got to meet, and it was so cool.
What's with all these young women traveling alone?
I know, and the girl that I met in Paris was 18.
Oh.
She worked at Baskin Robbins for months, saved like $5,000, and traveled until she had no money left.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
Yeah,
Crazy.
I know.
That's really cool. How would you meet people?
So there's apps these days.
Yeah, I was going to ask because they're like
so one is called like Trip BFF, another one is called Nomad Table. And basically, you'll meet people on there. You'll connect your Instagram so that you know the person is,
not
real.
going to murder you.
You'll meet somewhere
Scam.
like public.
Oh, so it's like a dating app for
Yeah,
friends?
yeah, kind of. And you
Oh,
can like
who
set
knew?
plans, but like way better than a dating
Do
app.
they have that here? I need friends.
No, literally, like they practically do Nomad Table.
I'd be like, wouldn't make any friends. I'd be such a bitch over there. I'd be like, sitting there by myself.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I really realized, that I was like, okay, like, especially when I was in Paris, I was like, I need to make a friend. And I was like, but I need to put in the work to make a friend. So I'm like getting on my Nomad Table app and I'm like reaching out to people. And sometimes you get desperate and you're like, okay, maybe I'll just like hang out with this like person, even though I don't think I would vibe with them. But then luckily it worked out that I met this girl and
So
she
you
responded to me. And
You didn't just
yeah.
walk up to people going, hi.
Well, actually, when I was
Isabella.
I was on a train one day.
Hi.
Yeah. Do you want to be friends with
Like
me?
a little kid?
Yeah.
Hi.
I was on a train one day and
Do
I
you wanna
became
ride
friends.
bikes?
I was on a train one day. I became friends with these two random people, and like we still follow each
Hate
other
when
on
that happens.
Instagram
Okay.
and spent the whole day
Yeah,
together.
I hate when I'm just on a train.
Yeah, yeah. I was
Meeting
on a-
strangers
I was
the
on a
first
train
time.
to a castle, and a true story. I was going to a castle.
Okay, I'm done
Oh,
with this convo.
so funny. What was your favorite place?
I think Lisbon. I loved Lisbon. I could definitely move there.
You
Yeah.
know what?
It's a really big like creative hub though,
Yeah,
right?
there's
Like
just-
Portugal.
there's a
Yeah.
lot of people I think from
I know a lot of people like Spain. I know
From-
it's not the same thing,
Yeah.
but you could have picked anywhere. You could
I
have went to
know.
Italy. That would have been the easy choice.
That's the thing. That is the easy choice, and I don't want it, which is really upsetting because I really want to be fluent in Italian, and I am still thinking about like maybe like living in Rome for 3 months and studying there, but I don't know. We'll see. But
You're
yeah.
gonna be a You could do sculptures.
Oh, I'm not.
Sculptor?
I don't think I have
Oh,
the skill.
I thought that's all they do in Rome. Is they make.
Yeah, they just
statues.
yeah, so true. That's all
Okay.
they don't work there. They just make statues. They actually really don't work there. I don't know how they make money, but I don't know.
Well, what's the fashion? Is it Madrid? Is the fashion?
Milan.
Milan. That's what I meant. I knew it started with an M.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could go there.
I could go there.
You could do makeup at the department stores. I remember when I went to Paris, I
true.
went into the department store and there was just all these people putting makeup and perfume everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
All these women and their beauty, and I was
Yeah.
just like, oh
Whoa.
my gosh, you could totally do that. I mean,
Yes, I
from
could.
Target, East Side Target, beauty department.
Literally,
to-
that is where it all started. Eastside Target Beauty Department.
Eastside Target. Beauty
That's where she
Department.
That is where it all started.
That's so funny because
the story
I like
began.
never see anybody at those little stands.
No,
I'm
they-
like, do
they
they have
used to
people?
be-
Do people work here?
I saw her once. She was stocking, and she helped me find my mascara. But I just saw that Target's getting rid of the Sephora, and now they're going to have their own little beauty. So you could, if you know,
If things don't work out,
you could always go back to
go
Target,
back.
or maybe you'd have to go over to Crossroads. You always got to have that backup plan. Okay, so what are you doing now?
So now I am primarily doing UGC, which is user-generated content. So I make videos for brands.
So you're an influencer?
I'm not an influencer.
How is that different?
So an influencer would be someone who who is a personal brand, technically, online. And so they have, there's different levels to it. There's a micro, macro, hero. Hero is like over 1 million. Macro is around 10 to 50K, I think. And they'll post in a certain niche, and that could be lifestyle, which is like your Alex Earl, or it could be super specific moms, like that's a
Yeah,
specific niche.
and they just do it for
And
malt
so they'll
brands.
post things in their life, or they'll post products, and so a lot of brands will work with them because it's a great way to get a product in front of their super specific audience. And so then there's creators. Some of those creators have an online following. Some creators are just doing UGC, which is where you don't need to have a following. You don't need to be known for anything online. You can just make videos for brands. They will turn those videos into paid ads, or we'll just post it organically on their pages. Or there's another style called Canvas UGC, which is where you create an account and you post 30 to 60 videos a month of video scripts that they have you follow to promote their brand, app, product, service, etc. And those are the pay is weird. So the pay could be
So which
like,
one are you? You just said two different ones. I got
yeah.
confused.
So what I do right now is mostly
UGC.
Canvas UGC.
Oh, Canvas. Okay.
And I'm getting more into this like regular UGC side. But I started with Canvas because I wanted to be able, because I was like new to the UGC. Like I've been in social media, right? But I hadn't been always in front of the camera doing content. And so
Yeah,
I was
you're
like,
very much behind the camera.
yeah, very much just behind the camera. So I was like, let me just make like just so many videos just so I can really just understand like, okay, like what, what to do and learn a lot and get really comfortable in front of speaking in front of a camera. And so Canvas UGC was the best for that because it was just really easy to just immediately get clients, immediately start making money and do the work. So yeah, I work right now with 3 different apps and I'm pretty picky. Like there are some really sketchy ways to do it. I've had people reach out and be like, can we have you pretend to be taking GLP-1s and then like post about your experience? I'm like, no. So like I definitely only do like apps that are, ones that I actually would use.
Yeah, like the one that you were showing me the other day was like a travel app,
Yeah,
kind of.
and I
like
was
a
using that the
travel,
whole
like
time I was
social
like
app.
traveling.
Yeah.
So it was like,
So
yeah.
how'd you find this work?
So the first app that I worked with, I just saw a video of a girl, one of the founders of this app, posting that she needed creators. And she talked about the app and I was like, well, that's really cool. So I reached out to her. And then one of them I found through a girl that I met on TikTok who she was posting about UGC and I followed her, commented on one of her videos. And then she was like, oh, I saw you do UGC too. Like we should be friends. And I was like, okay.
Making friends again.
Literally. And she was
Over
just like,
apps.
oh, I'm a lead at this one company. Do you want to work for this app? I was like, yeah, sure. And then the other app, they reached out to me because they saw some of my content and they were like, hey, we want to work with you making this style of content. And I was like, okay, sounds good. Let's do it. Yeah, but there's apps called like Side Shift where people can apply for these apps. I really like to like find the people or have them reach out to me because then you get paid more. A lot of the ones on the Side Shift are like
Cheapest ever. Did you start doing this when you were overseas or did you start when you got home?
I had the first app that I worked with that does like the travel stuff. I had found them right before I left. And so I was doing a little bit of work with them, but not much. And then like halfway through my trip, they were like, hey, we really liked working with you. I was like, oh, that's good. Cause I like barely did anything with you guys. And they're like, we want to do like a bigger contract with you and whatnot. And I was like, oh, great, let's do it. And yeah, so I've gotten really close with them and they just give me a lot of creative freedom. And yeah, it's a really good
that's
partnership.
kind of, so you're living with your parents again.
Yes.
And you're doing this, so making some money. And then your bags are still packed or what's the plan?
Yeah, I definitely, in October, I'm planning to do some traveling just up until Thanksgiving. Then I'll be home for the holidays, and then I'm trying to decide what I want to do come like January.
So you're going to go on a shorter trip?
Yeah, there's some places that I didn't get to go to that I really want to go to. Like Montenegro is a top one. I didn't get to go to Prague, so definitely there. But yeah, so yeah,
so going
to
on a little
figure
trip
out.
and
Yeah.
And then you could still this UGC fits your lifestyle. You're able to do this anywhere.
Yeah, I'm able to do it anywhere. There are some clients where like it's location based, but I'll just be able to pick up work that isn't location based. And most of the clients that I have right now, I'm able to just do the work from anywhere.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So fun.
Yeah, it works really, really well for me to be able to just like have my life and work like kind of integrated. Like I'm on the treadmill and I'm editing videos, or I just like take a couple hours to like film some videos, and then I don't know, it just works so well. I don't have like a set, I'm sitting down for this many hours and doing the work. I just don't think that works for me. I like when I have like, okay, this is what needs to get done, I'm gonna sit down for this amount of time, get it done. And I still like plan my days out, but it's like structure and freedom kind of combined.
I got it.
Yeah, which I think it's nice. I think it's cool that we've opened up the world to be able to have that. Would that be something that works for me? And I'm not just talking about like my life, but like my personality style. No. But like for you, it's the absolute perfect fit.
When you told us, we're like, oh yeah, that's you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I know. We work great together, but we have the same style, absolutely not.
So yeah, I think that it's really cool that you're able to do this. And I know we were kind of talking about some of the goals and dreams that you have. And I think, rolling into the UGC stuff, it's given you a little bit more confidence even more, right?
Yeah.
That you can create kind of your own path
exactly. My own
and figure
personal
out,
brand
how you want to present yourself out to the world. And I think it's
But
really
everything
cool.
she knows, we taught her.
Yeah.
Exactly. I wouldn't have been able to do it without Moxie
No,
guys.
we definitely
That is
gave you the
very, very
runway,
true.
right?
Yeah. I wouldn't have been able to do it without this.
And to figure out that it's something that you're good at and it's something that you're
You
passionate
like
about,
more
right?
than anything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't know. You're like, I want a job in marketing, but I don't know what.
Right.
Yeah, and I think you were like, I think social media, and then it really became very clear, I think pretty early on, that you definitely had a knack for it,
Yeah,
and
it's my thing,
it was
for
just
sure.
fine because we're like
Yeah.
Yeah. But when
Take
you're tied too closely to clients, or you have to be in a location like, like for us, maybe that didn't work for your lifestyle. You're just
Right.
taking it on the road.
Yep.
And that was
Yeah.
the biggest thing I realized was, and I had been unintentionally doing it, I guess, since I was 18, 19, was that I have a dream life per se that I want to live. And so the job is kind of like the engine that helps me get there. And yeah, like, unfortunately, I had to realize that like working locally with clients is maybe something that can't work right now for what I want. And maybe that'll change later, but it's like right now I have to make it work in a very specific way if
Well,
that's how it works.
but you went out
yeah.
and you made those opportunities. All those hours on social media paying off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I'm so grateful that I got the experience here and like got to work with those clients. And there's totally a piece of it that I will always miss, right? Like having that community and being able to connect with clients. And I love being able to like sit down and hang out with clients and film videos and whatnot. But yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you might do a version of that again someday.
Yeah, exactly.
You have that all in your toolkit.
Yeah, exactly.
But you seem really happy.
Yeah, I am really, really happy.
Yeah, you're all smiles. You weren't necessarily like that here. I'm just kidding.
That's not
No,
true.
it seems like you
I-
seem happy, and I'm
Yeah.
glad that makes
Yeah.
us happy.
I'm happy because I was able to figure out like everything that I did at Moxie was able to get me to where I am now,
It
and I
wasn't
was
a
able to
waste,
figure out
yeah.
like my health was a big aspect of like I didn't always take care of myself the way that I should have when I was here because I was just so focused on like getting work done and then just like going and living life and having fun. And so like now I just think I have a
Yeah,
better
there were
balance in my
some
life.
moments where I was like,
Yeah, where
Isabella, we
like-
need to have a chat.
Yeah.
Your
yeah.
client-facing work can
Yeah,
take its toll.
absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I mean, you must just feel like you're making your own way. You're doing,
Yeah.
I mean, and we realized that along the way that
Yeah.
you're just you're going to do your own thing,
Yeah.
whatever that was.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's definitely a trait of yours, right? I mean, all your friends went off and did this, and you were like, "Oh, I'm doing this."
Yeah.
Zigged when
Yeah,
they zagged.
yeah. But I think that's cool, and I'm really, I remember the day when you came and told Kelly and I that you were doing this, and I know you were scared, and I know you were, because it's not,
I knew
it's never
it.
fun to whatever, but we
Yeah.
were both like, okay, we're not surprised.
It
And
can't be sad. We're sad for us, but happy for you.
yeah. And like just so excited for you to
Like our kid.
finally have your experience where you were gonna, as cliche as it sounds, like go find yourself
Yeah.
and like figure out the things that make you happy and
Yeah.
the things that don't make you happy.
But that takes a lot of courage to take that
was
leap. It
100%.
also takes a lot of courage to say, I went to esthetician school and I paid this much for it, but I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I was lucky that my parents are very understanding.
'Cause they're like,
and
"Hey, we
that
paid for
They
this."
know that I tend to have a vision that they might not understand or see, and they're just like, all right, we just got to trust Isabella's process. But yeah, it was totally such a hard decision to go. And I remember even leading up to it, I was like, it's a good thing that I booked this flight and that I said it early on because things
Yeah.
were so fun and just going so well. Like it
But
was
you were
sad
nervous to leave. I remember at the end. You
Oh,
were
I was
looking forward to
so
it, but then you're like,
nervous.
what the heck did I do?
Yeah, I was, oh my gosh, you guys, the amount of times even when I was on the first half of the trip, I was like, what am I doing? What did I do? Did I just blow up my life?
Yeah. Wait, I didn't
It's
have
just
a
the
life.
process. Like, I had to realize that was another thing too, and I was just like so down in the dumps some days, like because the highs were so high, but then the lows could be so low, and I'd be like, why do I feel this way? And I was like, I completely demolished my life, my structure, not completely demolished, but like in a sense, like certain areas were demolished, and I was like, I'm literally rebuilding. Of course, it's gonna feel unclear, and like, what am I doing? Because it's not clear right now, and you just have to learn to roll
I
with
think
the
you
uncertainty.
needed that space to do that.
I did.
Because when you're just busy, you just can't see anything.
Someone was asking me like, do you know what you want to do? And I was like, no, because I haven't had the space to let that answer come to me. Like sometimes your energy is all in these places, and then all of a sudden when you remove all that, finally you're like, okay.
That's the
something
tough
come.
thing about trying to pick a career at 18. And yeah, you always loved beauty, and
Yeah.
you were so beautiful and doing all that. You used to make up Maya and my makeup even. And then so you just thought, well, I should do that because I enjoy it. And then you're like, yeah, I enjoy it. That's
But
not
it
what I
might
want to
not,
do. Yeah,
get
and
me
to
to where I
even
wanna go.
but at 18, how do you know?
Right.
Nobody
Don't.
knows. So many
Yeah.
people are doing things different than went to school for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's cool that you were able to say, yeah, I like that, but not for me.
Yeah.
Well, Bella, as you know, with every guest episode, because you're a
You
guest,
might forget.
Yeah.
we do some rapid fire questions. So let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay. Well, since this is a marketing podcast and you have worked in marketing and continue to do so, what is one marketing trend that you think is here to stay?
I think it's authenticity. And I think that because if we look over time.
What's a trend?
Okay, right. But here's the thing. Let me start with that. The marketing principles that have carried on for decades, I would like to believe some of them, many of them, started as a trend, even if the word wasn't trend, right? People realized something was working and they were like, oh, let's all do this. Authenticity was one of those things where people were naturally doing it. People realized, oh, that's something that that's what I should be doing. I should show more of myself. I should be more authentic. So like now we're kind of icked out with the word authentic because it was so big, like be authentic. It was this trend almost, but like it's a trend that is now a core principle of like digital marketing. It's going to stay, even if the word is kind of like cringe now, but the idea of what authenticity is.
So that means
is
like
gonna
less
stay.
polished, more
Yeah.
like personal referrals is how I see it. Like,
Yeah.
right? Like people don't know what to trust online.
Right.
But when they, like what you're doing is someone saying, this is what, you're like, trust me.
Yeah. Well, also
buy
just like,
this?
yeah, try not to look so polished, right? Like for the brands online, how they were figuring out how do we grow as a brand on social media? Oh, be authentic. You know, like show the behind the scenes, show the personality, show the people. In a personal brand, it was like, okay, yeah, you could sit and talk about things all day long, but if you don't show any of your personality, if you don't show your story and how you got here and the ups and the downs and the highs and the lows, like people can't connect with it. How do people connect through a screen? They connect through relating to someone. How does that happen? Through being authentic.
I think that all happened, if I can just be the old lady in the room. Oh, I am. It's kind of on the, when we were all talking about the millennials coming up, that was what they connect with brands that way.
Yeah.
About what they stand for,
Yeah.
Right.
who they are,
Yeah.
more than just the product and services.
Yeah.
That was that shift, like kind of
Exactly.
from like my generation to Taylor's generation, and now I think your generation is just all in on it.
And I think it was.
Do you think that's
kind
here
of a
to
trend.
stay?
I cannot imagine a world where all of a sudden we're like, let's all be mysterious online. Like,
Yeah, but
there-
what about AI? Like, I feel like
that's a-
anti-authentic is AI, and there's so much
Right.
AI.
So
stuff out
as
there.
AI continues to rise, right, as we see AI brands, we see AI content, what's going to win? Authenticity, being human, being showing the real sides, showing things that AI couldn't replicate.
Yeah, I don't think AI is winning by
No, but it's all over.
It's all
Yeah.
over, but that doesn't mean it's winning. That
Right.
means that
Some people think
that
it's
brands
good.
are cheaping out, and a year from now they will be like, well, shit.
Yeah.
Like we didn't win.
Yeah,
They
well,
won't know
those-
that.
yeah.
That's my
No,
my
totally.
thinking. That's my perfect world. Would
We can
love to
hope
believe
that,
that.
yeah.
And I mean, just to add to that really quick, AI content we've seen go viral. And it's
Yeah.
a perfect example of like, just because AI content is viral and we think that viral content equals sales or, good things, it's proof that just because it's viral, it's
went
also
viral
AI,
'cause
so
it's
no
so
one's
bad.
trusting it, no one's buying from it, no one's thinking, oh my gosh, this content is so good, so now I'm going to connect with this brand, right?
Okay, number 2, for all of our young listeners who are dreaming and doing, if you could go back and give the 2023 version of yourself one piece of advice, what would it be?
It would be to celebrate every single win, even if when you get there it feels small, because there was a version of you that wanted to achieve that and dreamt of it, and you need to celebrate for at least that person. Because when you are ambitious, every single time you get to a goal, you're going to think, oh, I'll celebrate the next one because I'm finally going to have this, I'm finally going to have that, and I'll finally be able to feel better about where I'm at, or I'll finally be able to relax. When you're ambitious, every single goal you get to, your vision has expanded, what you want has expanded.
That's such a Taylor Swift answer. I feel like
Oh,
that's what
wow.
she
Thank
talks
you.
about.
But
like,
also,
yeah.
okay, thank you. I
Like
won't
to be
remember that.
happy, yeah. So it's
Right.
kind of like enjoy the journey a little bit. If I
There's-
could be
exactly,
if I was gonna
yeah.
put this on a sign in my kitchen, it
Yeah.
would be like enjoy the journey.
Yeah.
Live, laugh, love.
Yeah,
Enjoy.
no, literally. But there were like the amount of times that I would achieve something here in terms of just like learning something or finally getting a viral video, whatever it was was like, okay, I did that, now I need to go do this.
Yeah,
and
never
I can't
good enough.
celebrate it.
Right.
It's never
Good
good
enough.
enough.
Yeah.
At the end of the
Yeah.
day, when you're ambitious, it's like a meal. Like imagine if your best meal was supposed to be one that kept you satisfied for life. It's never going to. You're always
I
going to be
like
hungry
that
tomorrow.
When
know?
did you get so smart?
I've had a lot of thinking to do.
You've always been like that. I feel
know.
like ever since I met you, like there was always things that you would say, and I was like, yeah.
I know Maya was like Isabella was Maya's older sister.
Yeah.
They were the same age, and I'm like, well, Maya be like, well, Isabella said.
Yeah.
Be like, even like through our divorce, I'm like, how does Isabella know? Have her come talk to me.
Tell me more.
And Maya comes home, Isabella and Kelly are just like in Kelly's
Yeah.
bed, like
Yeah.
drinking tea and chatting. Okay, Bella. Well,
We'll let
now,
you go, I
Now's the
guess.
time of the episode where we have to say goodbye. But just
bye.
goodbye for the episode.
Yeah.
Not forever. Duh. You're never
Duh.
leaving us. But we are so happy that you're back and hanging out in our sphere a little bit, getting to chat with you, and just happy for you all around. Can tell that this trip really changed, led you on to the next path. And I think that's awesome.
I'm not going to be surprised if I get a, hey, I'm getting married. We do this wedding invite for me. I'm getting married in Paris, and you're all invited.
Oh, 100%.
Wouldn't that be cool?
That'd be so cool.
Coming anyway.
We're
when you
all
invite me.
going.
Yeah.
Moxie
Work trip.
trip.
Work trip.
Heck yeah.
Can we classify that as a work trip? I don't know.
Tax deductible.
We'll find a way. Make some
Again.
content.
Yeah. We'll talk about
podcast
business.
episode. Perfect.
Oh,
yeah, no, you guys are
location.
the best,
Well,
and you're
scouting.
stuck with me forever.
Well, best of luck to you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I hope you guys all got to enjoy this episode and just listen to us kiki back and forth. All right. See you next week
Bye.
on Behind the Brand. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Behind the Brand. If you liked this episode, share it with a friend. If you didn't, share it with an enemy. And make sure to leave us a 5-star review. To stay connected, follow us at the links in the show notes below.